ought to be a good time.
Alright guys, so what is going on? DTZ Exporter here, and today we're going to be breaking down the Giant trailer that was just released. It's 23rd of October, plus I have a breakdown of the Q&A section of Treyarch's Black Ops 3 Fridays livestream regarding zombies. So without further ado, let's get right into that trailer.
Your words are empty. Your soul is hollow. How could you ever hope to put things right? What is left of you now? Nothing! What happens next is uncertain. A great evil approaches. I fear we are meddling with ever darker forces. Yeah, seems like old times, huh?
You cannot begin to comprehend the great evil you could unleash.
I fear the path ahead may be more treacherous than before. Yeah, we know. Do not fear death. Fear me! Don't do it! You can never wash away the blood on your hands, RIGHTFUL. You are an evil that must be stopped.
What I do only to secure a better tomorrow.
The future hangs by a thread. There is a chain of events that must be set in motion.
I walk a path no other can take. I alone can lead us to our salvation.
Maybe there is a way to end all of this. To return to our homes, our old lives, our family.
Alright guys, so I'm going to go over all of the content with you as soon as we can. Here we have the Gobblegum machine. It is confirmed in the Giant map. You are going to be able to use the XP progression system in it. There are various Gobblegum machines throughout the map. We do have one of the perk bottles in the map. Speed Cola is returning. Big surprise there. I believe the 4 original perks are going to be there. It doesn't look like they added any from the trailer. At least this is the only machine you can actually see from it. Up next we do have the Bowie knife is returning. It looks a little upgraded. Looks sick as ever. And his fingers are going through the knife blade a little bit. I'm sure they'll fix that at some point, or probably maybe not. It is Treyarch. The box lights are also in the corner there on the right hand side. Then we do have the monkey bombs are returning again. They look really nice with the graphics on this engine. They're pretty awesome. Nothing too special there, but they are returning, which is really nice. In the next segment, we do have the Hellhounds. Hellhounds are returning. I wasn't really too surprised that they were, but they look really nice in this new engine again. And they're going to be awesome to have during the rounds and getting that max ammo like you usually do. I really like the dogs. They were a good addition to zombies. Next up, you have the electrical traps, which look sweet as ever. Killing the zombies through them. It does look like they are getting through, though, which didn't happen. That might just be like a cinematic thing. Not 100% sure. But then on the end, we do have the wonder weapon that we always love, the Wonder Waff, that was featured in Doris and Shinonuma as well. But it does look like that is returning as well. This was a quick breakdown, though. I am going to be digging in a second to the Q&A section, just so you guys have all that information in front of you.
Right. It sure is. Yeah, yeah.
PXL asks, will the Wonder Waffa be in the Giant?
Yes.
Good enough for me. Sir Arnold asks, will crafting be returning, such as the zombie shield, which I think...
Yeah, craft. So, who'd have thought, right? So, these are, for zombies, it's very much the beginnings how zombies kind of appeared. It's about trying different things all the time. And when we first started doing craftables, we didn't know it would be something that would catch on and that people would enjoy. And the shield has become like a staple of the experience, a lot like the Pack-a-Punch machine or kind of the perks machines at different types. Yes, a buildable shield will be available. Yeah.
All right. Mm-hmm. You touched on this a little bit earlier, but just to reiterate, Sean asked, will there be prestiging and unlockables in zombies? And the answer is
yes.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, moving on.
I'm giving so many definite ansers here.
I know.
Yeah, Activision people
I take it
are
back.
swoop in and
yeah.
take me away.
Gavin asks, will you get to choose from the 4 characters, or do you alternate?
You alternate, so it's how we've always done it, which is you jump in there and you get assigned a random character, and those characters, because one question I'd heard was, do they have the different abilities baked into the characters? Each characters are blank slate in that sense. The difference being that we have a new narrative system, which basically means certain audio lines and certain story and dialogue is only fired off if you're near another person. So who you are and then who is near you will possibly give you extra narrative clues.
So extra layer of encouragement to stick together.
At certain times.
Yeah. All right. Tactical Swarm asks, are there other zombie modes besides survival mode?
No.
Simple enough. Another question was, how fast will zombies be in Black Ops 3? They've gotten fast. Have they gotten faster since World at War?
Well, it's either they've got faster or you've got slower.
My mind's blown right now.
It's so interesting, right? So zombie speed is just one element of multiple elements that we kind of play with when we're kind of tuning in. And we actually tune it in for maps as well. So certain maps, the more spacious you get in a map, then you have to change those values, because the feeling is always having impending doom upon you. It's a lot like this show. It's about to happen any second. That's the kind of key. So speed-wise, I would say there would be approximate to previous experiences. The variables all mixed together, though, means that you have to keep your head on a swivel.
All right. Again, we kind of covered off on this, but just to reiterate, Liam asks, will there be ranks in zombies? Can players upgrade their weapons and armor?
Yes.
Yes and yes.
Yes and yes.
All right. Mr. Raffle Waffles, once again.
Just keep sneaking in.
Yeah. Why are Group 935 involved with Morgue City?
I've never said that.
All right.
Yeah.
Mr. Dalek, JD asks, can you explain the gobble gum? So I guess we covered off on that.
Yeah.
But just to reiterate.
To kind of call it out, it's something that you set up before you even go into the match. And that's the new kind of idea as well. The idea that you're putting the gums into the pack. And when we play it, how we kind of thought about it is that who you're playing with, let's say you're playing with a more experienced player, maybe you're going to load your pack in a certain way. Maybe you're playing with a guy who's a little bit weaker. Maybe there's certain things you want to put in there. Maybe you're going to discover things as you're playing and say, I need that bubblegum at round 10 because I just saw something.
For reasons.
And this thing would work or would help me. So it's a really kind of strategic moment, not only for an individual, but also for the team as well.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Black Ops Fridays. I'm your host, Scott Lowe with Activision. Now, if you're just tuning in, this is our weekly live stream series where every Friday at noon Pacific, we're showing off new content from Black Ops 3, answering your questions, and chatting with the devs at Treyarch. Now, if that trip down memory lane you just saw wasn't enough of an indication, this week we're talking about zombies. There's so much to discuss, so much to show you, and to give away that I'm not going to waste any more time. So I'm going to introduce my guest this week, Mr. Jason Blundell, Director of Campaign and Zombies at Treyarch. Welcome, Jason.
Hi, Scott.
How you doing?
Not too bad, man. How you doing?
I'm very excited. I don't know if you know this, but people seem to really like this zombies thing you guys have created.
Yeah, it's a really nice feeling.
Well, as soon as we announced that we were doing this, like the Twitter channels, the Facebook channels just lit up. People had questions. They were super excited to see what we had to show. So I appreciate you taking the time to be here.
My pleasure.
Now, with Black Ops 3, the new experience that you guys are introducing is Shadows of Evil, which is kind of an expansion to the universe, has a new story, new cast of characters. Without spoiling too much, because I know you like to keep a lot of that to your chest until the game launches, but can you guys give us a little bit of an overview of what Shadows of Evil is?
Sure. So Shadows of Evil is a 1930s, 1940s film noir style piece where we follow four kind of broken characters in true film noir style. We have a dancer, a burlesque dancer who wants to be in the kind of movies but can't kind of make it yet. She's played by Heather Graham. And we have a cop played by Neil McDonough, and he's a corrupt cop. He's a kind of a cop who's taking bribes and giving bribes. We have a failed boxer played by Ron Perlman called Floyd Campbell. And again, he wants to meet the big time, but he just can't get his big break, so he starts to cheat and kind of put knuckle dusters under his boxing gloves. And we have a failed magician, a terrible magician called Nero, and he's played by Jeff Goldblum. And then we have the Shadow Man, and that is a mysterious character. When all these kind of broken characters have committed crimes in their life, the Shadow Man turns up and says, "Follow me. Don't worry, follow me, and I will lead you to redemption." And he kind of helps them, or possibly hinders them as they kind of move through the world.
Well, and even though this kind of takes on a bit of a life of its own, there are connections to kind of the universe you guys have built already, right? Again, without spoiling too much.
Sure, absolutely. I mean, so when people first looked at Shadows of Evil, they say, "Oh, that's separate from the kind of main lore." Every time we do a zombie map, it's connected to our lore. It's all kind of considered. This time, slightly different than previous times, it's all been done holistically as well. So all the kind of maps and going into our DLC season has all been considered as one big narrative, also connecting back to our previous maps.
Well, let's talk about the map a little bit. How does this compare to the previous maps fans have become familiar with? You guys have had 3 years to kind of develop this experience. What has that afforded you in terms of scale and detail?
It's incredible. I mean, so the average zombie map is about 4 months, 5 months worth of work. Shadows of Evil, in terms of effective development, is about 2.5 years. So just the physical size, the detail. We took on a Art Deco and Art Nouveau style when it comes to the architecture, and that allowed our artists really kind of just to let rip. So I like to talk about there's essentially 6 characters in Shadows of Evil. There's the 4 main characters. There's the Shadow Man. There's the environment itself. It's one of the largest maps I've ever done, not just in terms of linear size, but also verticality. We learned a lot of lessons from previous zombie maps. One of them is that wherever you are, there's always signposts. So everywhere is traversable, and you can also understand where you are spatially. It sounds kind of quite straightforward, but that's quite complex to kind of keep going and develop a map.
Well, when you're fighting off hordes of zombies,
well, exactly.
It's not the easiest thing in the world.
Exactly, yeah.
And in terms of the new systems that are in place, I mean, obviously the environment, like you said, kind of takes on a character of its own, but you guys are also introducing a number of new systems and gameplay elements to the mix. Again, no spoilers, but can you tell us a little bit, we saw a little bit in the trailers, we saw, the gobble gun machine, there's quite a bit in there.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little more about it?
Yes, gobble gum. We have to practice saying it. Gobble gum.
Gobble gum.
Gobble gum. The gobble gum system is connected to an XP progression system that we have in Zombies now, which means that the more you play it, your XP rank increases, and you'll be given gum that can go into a pack before you start the round. Different guns have different abilities. And then also you can have build kits, and these build kits allow you to change the weapons or customize the weapons that you get from the chalk outlines or from the magic box as well. So 2 different kind of systems that reward you as you play more.
Yeah, well, it's pretty exciting. And you know, like you said, there's so much content there in-game. But for Zombies fans this year, you're also kind of stepping things up a notch with the collector's edition with the Juggernog, which, as we announced over social, we'll be giving away in just a little bit. But we actually have one here that we wanted to do a little formal unboxing.
I just noticed that.
So without further ado, let's check it out. So here it is.
Wow.
This is what's launching on November 6th. Outside, you get the big Black Ops brand on the front.
Yeah.
Some skull logos on the side, and then obviously the contents. But no spoilers. Let's just get into that.
Yeah, let's go in the box.
So the cool part though is when you pull this off. There we go. So we have
fantastic.
Some cool zombie art inspired by Shadows of Evil.
Whoa, scary face. Zoom in.
You've got the skyline of Morgue City.
Yeah.
You have my self-portrait on the
there we go.
There that looks
Truck and Activision staff.
Yeah, you guys. But no, this looks great. This is really cool. This is like obviously huge for the ultimate zombie fans. So let's pull this aside and see what's inside of it.
Yeah. Here's one we prepared earlier.
Yeah. So let's start with the cool stuff, which of course is the game that people are
I'm
very
going to do the
excited
modeling.
about. Yeah, just kind of wave it around. So you get the steelbook case with the game, and then inside you have vouchers for all the in-game content you also get as part of the collector's edition, which includes you get the giant bonus map, you get Nuketown, you get the season pass, and then 3 personalization packs. So quite a bit.
It's like you rehearsed it. That's fantastic.
Go figure. And then for the collectors, somebody who likes to have a tangible representation of their love of Black Ops, there's also these cool inserts for multiplayer fans.
This is me doing my YouTube unboxing video.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
All right, so we have 9 collector's cards for each of the 9 specialists in multiplayer. You have their design of the character. You can see each one of them in vivid detail. And then on the back, you have each one of their bios and kind of place in the lore, which we talked about in previous episodes of Black Ops Fridays. And then as well as their abilities and weapons, kind of a rundown of what you've got there. So pretty cool stuff if you're a big multiplayer fan, in addition to all the cool zombie stuff. But if you are a Zombies fan, we're building up to the fridge, but I think this is pretty exciting as well.
Here we go.
You have here, Jason will be kind enough to model it for us. So you get this collector's tin, and inside...
I don't have a future in modeling, do I? I think it's all going to...
I don't know. Don't sell yourself short. I think you're going to get some calls after this.
Here we go.
So you have 4 coasters, each kind of taken from the Zombies experience, each with a different perk associated with it.
These are for soft drinks only.
Yeah.
Alarms will go off at Treyarch if used for any other purpose.
Yep.
Here we go.
Only the... So yeah, you have the design on the front, you have the names. Look at that. That's really cool. But the important part is what it comes with, that you pair those with, which we have here, rather than, in the interest of time.
Yeah,
we didn't want to bumble around trying to
put on your 3D glasses now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Drum roll, please.
Here we go.
We have the Juggernog itself.
Wow.
All right, now let's switch it on. So this is a fully functional fridge, which is just mind-bending. Right? Like it is truly amazing. So it's fully functional. It holds 12 cans. It has the light on the top.
Yeah.
And I understand it makes a couple of noises if you want to.
Can we go for it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like we're in the game.
It's pretty creepy.
And one more. That
there
is
we go.
Terrifying. That is awesome.
Oh.
So again, these are super rare collector's items.
Absolutely.
We wanted them to be truly collectible. You just can't just run out and buy one. Like this is a very short supply. So very cool. Hopefully they'll let us keep this one. Maybe.
Yeah, we're going to steal this after.
Yeah, obviously,
okay.
obviously. All right, so let's drop this back down and keep the show going.
Okay.
All right,
there we go.
So in addition to Shadows of Evil.
Yes.
And of course, you've got this sweet fridge to go with it. There's also a continuation of the core zombies story with the giant bonus map.
Yes.
Why did you guys feel like that was important to kind of keep going in addition to put all of that hard work that you guys put into Shadows of Evil?
Well, I mean, if we rewind back, which is something we do in Zombies every so often, at the end of Black Ops 2, we had DLC 4, it's called Origins, and we kind of left the community on a little bit of a cliffhanger.
As you've been known to do.
Little bit of a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, everyone. Or kind of not. The Giant is kind of the spiritual successor to Origins. And so when we were kind of thinking about it, Shadows needed to happen. And there's other aspects that come in DLC, but I felt like I couldn't leave the community hanging out too long. And so that's where the Giant kind of fits in. It's the kind of bridge and the connection between Origins back from Black Ops 2 coming into Black Ops 3.
Well, and let's talk a little bit about the map itself. Like it's based on De Ries, which was the
De Ries.
Sorry.
I was corrected in Germany that I've been pronouncing it wrong all these years.
Yeah.
So De Ries,
Yeah.
which is the Giant in German.
Yeah.
And it's basically a remastering of that space, but with the new mechanics as well. So the gobblegum. Said it right again.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, it's got the gobblegum system in there, new Easter eggs, new narrative system as well, and it's a different point in time. So it's not just a remake of that one, although spatially correct. It's a different point in time. So it's later on in our overall zombie lore and story.
Well, we saw a little bit of it at Comic-Con, where you guys hosted your first Comic-Con panel, which was awesome.
Yeah.
It was great to be there and see it all happen. And that was like the first trailer, but today we actually we just released a new extended gameplay trailer, which we're going to show here, right here on Black Ops Friday. So let's check it out.
Your words are empty. Your soul is hollow. How could you ever hope to put things right? What is left of you now? Nothing. What happens next is uncertain. A great evil approaches. I fear we are meddling with ever darker forces. Yeah, seems like old times, huh?
You cannot begin to comprehend the great evil you could unleash.
I fear the path ahead may be more treacherous than before. Yeah, we know. Do not fear death. Fear me. Don't do it! You can never wash away the blood on your hands, Richtofen. You are an evil that must be stopped.
What I do only to secure a better tomorrow.
The future hangs by a thread. There is a chain of events that must be set in motion.
I walk a path no other can take. I alone can lead us to our salvation.
Maybe there is a way to end all of this. To return to our homes, our old lives, our families.
Awesome. That was really cool. I can't wait to play. And there was a little bit of a news item at the end of that trailer. I don't know if you caught it. In addition to the collector's editions that we're releasing with Black Ops 3, you can also get access to the Giant through the Season Pass, which now opens it up to a much broader audience on Next Gen and PC, which is pretty exciting. And you alluded to it a little earlier, Jason, but can fans expect the Giant story to or the original core story to continue into the DLC season?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a great opportunity to. So there's a definite story that we're telling here, and with Black Ops 3 and our DLC to come, it allows us to kind of pick up some of the old threads that we'd left open for a while, close certain loops, open up new threads.
Yeah. More cliffhangers, I'm sure.
More cliffhangers, but really kind of give people each map being able to kind of, when they invest and look into it, connecting to even further maps because of that holistic approach we took in terms of thinking it all at once, it means we can actually put more seeds in building the maps going into the DLC.
Well, that's awesome. And if you want to get in on all that, this week we have some exciting prizing to give away to you all. If you've been following along on social through our Call of Duty handles, we've been teasing up some of the stuff we're giving away. First up, we've got the Juggernog edition, again, super rare.
Wow.
This one is even more rare because it'll be signed by the development team at Treyarch, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah.
And then thanks to our friends at PlayStation, we have 1-year subscriptions to PlayStation Plus available as well, which give you discounts on games, free games, multiplayer, and so much more. And then, of course, we've got the digital deluxe editions of Black Ops 3, again, which include a bunch of cool content in the game itself.
You're just giving everything away.
Hopefully, again, you and I can maybe get away with some of this stuff.
We'll put it in the car later.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, another super rare collector's item, which is the giant poster from Comic-Con, which is only distributed through Comic-Con, and so a couple, fans will have an opportunity to win one of those, which is pretty exciting.
That was painted by Simon Bisley. He's a fantastic artist, so one for the comic fans as well.
Yeah. So the important part, and as we mentioned on social, in order to have a chance to win one of these, for those that are in North America, all you have to do is tweet to Call of Duty with the hashtag BO3Fridays sweeps for a chance to win one of those awesome prizes. I'm going to tweet right now. If you don't mind, I'm just going to...
You go for it, man. You go for it.
All right. Well, good luck to everyone. Hopefully you can walk away with some cool stuff. Yeah. Now, as is tradition on these Black Ops Fridays, Black Ops Fridays, we've been doing a little bit of a social Q&A.
Okay.
Are you game to kind of field some tough questions from the fans?
Absolutely not, no.
Okay. Well, it's been great talking with you guys. No. All right. Well, that's too bad. Let's get straight into it. Please explain the XP leveling system in Zombies, John asks. I know you explored a little, or kind of alluded to that a little bit, but if you could expand on it in any way.
Sure. The more you play, you're ranking up XP, you're increasing your XP, and each time you hit a level, you're then given a reward, be that a gobblegum or a weapon build kit. And you move all the way through the levels until you hit your prestige and possibly beyond.
And so beyond, you say?
Yeah, and so that's kind of how the progression system works.
I love how cryptic you are about everything. It's awesome.
Yeah, it makes my life very difficult.
Speaking of cryptic, Milo asks, can we pick the eggs up?
Milo, is that Ruffle Waffles?
I believe it is.
I know you're out there. Can you pick up the Easter eggs, or can you pick up the eggs? Maybe. We have more Easter eggs than we've ever done before. We've, with that extra time, and then more kind of Easter eggs that are connected to more significant parts of our overall story. Again, everything I say is just cryptic in some level.
Right,
but,
yeah.
Yes, the Easter eggs are more pick-upable.
Sounds like Milo has his work cut out for him.
He does, yeah. It's those guys are so good. They kind of the whole community. They're so driven in terms of jumping in there and discovering stuff and working it out. And every time I try and put one in, and I think they'll never get this, and they always get it in at least a week. So, but this time I've got them. Yes, I might have a couple of good ones.
All right, Kevin asks, will Zombies have the same movement system as multiplayer?
So it shares, again, this is going to be a bit geeky now, it shares the kind of fundamental construction of it, but there's certain core abilities that multiplayer and campaign have that we decided not to put into the zombie experience, because part of the Zombies for us, for the Treyarch style, is sometimes feeling constrained. Horror and thriller is sometimes about not being able to do things, not being able to escape, so certain aspects have been removed or moved into other parts of the experience.
All right. The Saboteur asks, will Elena be featured in the Black Ops 3 soundtrack?
That's a wonderful question. We love working with Elena, and we used multiple times for different soundtracks. Bit too early to say. I love our kind of use of music, especially when we do our music videos, which you kind of drop in between our DLCs. It can sum up a character, the soul, or the feeling of a certain piece. And Elena's voice is fantastic for doing that. We can only hope.
All right,
yeah.
We'll see. Luke asks, what can we expect in terms of wonder weapons this year? Old favorites returning, possibly?
Possibly, yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's some wonder weapons that the community love, and our job is to, sometimes bring back an old one, and then other times give them new ones to love. So it's always a balancing act between you bring someone back that they're familiar with, or do I give them a new option to kind of to play with?
Life is about balance.